Hello, all. This is Dr. Arya, and today we'll have a discussion on Village Schoolmaster, which is written by Oliver Goldsmith. Oliver Goldsmith was an Anglo Irish writer, poet, and playwright, best known for his works like Vicar of Wakefield, She Stoops to Conquer, and the poem The Deserted Village, which Deserted Village and uh, uh, big poem which he had written. And he his writing when his writing most of all his writing reflects nostalgia, and also reflects innocence of rural life. And um, Oliver Goldsmith, he also grew up in an Irish village, and had first-handed experience of rural village, which allowed him to depict his affection, humor, and sympathy. His writing style is warm, simple, and elegant. Now coming to this poem, The Village Schoolmaster. It is a small excerpt from The Deserted Village, which he wrote in 1770. And um So it is the poem that Village Schoolmaster is a poem that fondly portrays the figure of a village teacher, symbolizing his wisdom and pride of rural world. And the poem offers a valid and affectionate portrait of a village schoolmaster who lived and worked in a small village. Goldsmith begins by describing the setting. The school stood by a strangling fence, suggesting a simple, humble environment typical of rural life. The schoolmaster is introduced as a stern and serious man. His face describes as harsh and seemed really strict and demanding to his students. The children fear his frown because they know it often signals punishment or or a scolding. However, there is a humorous tone in his fear, suggesting that the students also recognize the teacher's essential kindness. Despite his strictness, the schoolmaster is deeply respected for his learning. Among the simple villagers who are not highly educated themselves, his knowledge seems almost magical. The marvel of his ability to read, write, perform difficult mathematical and argue persuasively on various topics. His wisdom appears boundless to the villagers who cannot fully understand the depth of his knowledge but are deeply impressed by it. Goldsmith describes how the villagers gather around the schoolmaster and listen in amazement as he explains complicated ideas or how he settles disputes. His ability to reason and debate makes him figure of authority and pride for the whole community. Even when he seemed to lose an argument, the villagers still admire the skill within which he defends his points. There is a gentle, nostalgic tone throughout. Goldsmith does not idealize the schoolmaster as perfect. He shows him as a real human figure with faults, sometimes stubborn, sometimes pompous, but still admire for his dedication to learning and teaching. In a broader sense, the schoolmaster represents the value of education in rural life. Presence elevates the village, offering a link to broader knowledge and culture. So, through this character, Goldsmith, what he does, he captures the dignity of humble people and quiet importance. So, he is telling about the importance of education in maintaining the spirit of a community. So, here we can see there are certain key themes like respect for education. That is how the simple village folk uh, they consider him as knowledgeable, and they consider knowledge as a source of like pride. And then here Goldsmith also talks about nostalgia, about rural life. There is humor, there is humanity, and schoolmaster is shown with warmth even though he is strict, stern. And this poetry is also depicting a social change. Um, so in the backdrop he is acting about the um, diminishing rural world. So hope you have understood this poetry, The Village Schoolmaster. Thank you so much.